Give it up once again for the film 20 Feet From Stardom. All right. Well, without further ado, why don't we welcome our special guest up here and to answer some questions. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Black Barbarella, Miss A. Cherry.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you started singing?
Oh, you want to know about me, huh? Thank you. Well, I actually first started singing in a group in school, like every kid. You know, I had a little girl group, little 3-girl group, and we all had different notes and everything like that. Truthfully, I started out as a model first. I worked in Paris and London and I, all over the world. And I didn't really know I was going to be a singer until I met David Bowie. Now, I know that's very strange for you to hear, but when I met him, he was like, hey, I'm getting ready to go on this tour. And because he heard me singing, it was a party, and I was just singing out loud like everyone else. And he came over to me, he said, are you a singer? And of course I said, yes. What was I going to say? Yes, I'm the most incredible singer you ever heard. And he was like, well, I'm doing this tour around the world. Would you like to go? And I'm like, you're talking to me? You're talking to me? Yeah, so I was like, yes, I would love it, right? And so then that's how I kind of began, really professionally, singing with David Bowie. I mean, not an R&B act. Now, before that, I will say, I did sang with Shaka Khan. I did the background parts on Hollywood and a few other songs that she did. And, I started kind of, doing her and a few other people. But I mean, as far as a major act first, it was my rock background. I had a rock background. And I was like, cool. It was cool, man. Because some of the R&B singers weren't really getting their chances with R&B groups, you know what I'm saying? And so, like what Darlene Love was saying, she was singing with Elvis and, different, rock acts that were giving in the Rolling Stones with Lisa, like Lisa's doing, which were giving you opportunity, But I see with someone like Judith Hill, who, has just really come last. She's like the antithesis of, the now singer that sang with Michael Jackson and sang brilliantly with him. And so she's like, so then and now, from Darlene to Judith, which is really great. Did you guys see me up there with Young American?
Give it up. Come on.
Thank you so much. So what's your question, darling?
There were two ladies that made it.
Okay.
One got a Grammy and
Lisa.
Then two kind of dropped out because they said they had, they were unsuccessful. Was that fate?
It really depends a lot on you, how you conduct your life, because a lot of people in the industry, got caught up in other things, alcohol, drugs, all that other stuff, and that's partly why some people might not have gone on. I'm not saying that that's the whole reason, because anybody can get caught up. But I'm saying that some people took it to a degree where they couldn't come back. They couldn't, double back. And then other people like me are never going to give up. They're going to be throwing dirt in my face. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know. It's about your chutzpah and what kind of drive you have. This business, if you don't know it well, can really wear you down and really make you go, wow, I've done so much, I've worked so hard. Why am I still here? Why am I not there? And then you see people who have not done as much, and they're like making millions of dollars. So it's really potluck. I mean, I don't think that it's attributed to anything in particular. It's just you were in the right place at the right time, or you weren't, or you didn't carry on when you should have, and you took too long to come back, and that sort of thing. So, you said, sir, that you thought that once you seemed like you made it, that was it. No, you can be with so many people that were successful, but the successful people want to keep you. They don't want you to go and be a solo artist, so they just keep dangling that carrot. Oh, I mean, I'm not going to say their names, but there were a couple of people I worked with, and they were like, oh, well, I'm like, well, I'm gonna go and do my solo project and there, but I was gonna offer you a $1,000 raise. And I'm like, well, maybe I can do it in 8 months or something like that. You know, I mean, because it's really that kind of thing. You want to keep making the money, and the money in touring, and that sort of thing is big. You know, I mean, most artists start out, even if they're nobody, with making like $2,000 or $3,000 a week, and a week for us is like every 4 days. So you know, it's very interesting. The thing is that these days, I mean, because I consider myself old school, so when I was coming up and starting to sing with different people, you had to be really good. You had to be on your notes. I mean, when I sang with Luther Vandross, I mean, I remember a couple of times, you know, I made him been singing a wrong note. He just, in the middle of the show, he just turned around and looked at me and went, and then he'd say it, but you know what I'm saying? And I was like, ooh, I mean, I straightened the note up. People like that made you better, because if they did criticize you, they only did to make you better. I mean, that you wouldn't have been there if you weren't good. So.
Can you tell us of the bands you worked with, which were the most fun?
Oh, wow, let's see. Well, I would say that Bowie was fun, and other things. That was fun. And of course Luther, and I mean, in terms of touring, I only toured with like really 3 big acts, but I loved working with everybody. And so I just, I loved it. But I never wanted to just be a background singer. Just think, like a lot of people, like what Lisa was saying, and Lisa's a very good friend of mine. She's like the sweetest, most wonderful lady, and beautiful, incredible singer. I don't think Lisa ever really wanted to be the star, like she was saying. She always pushed into it, because when I was touring with Luther, she was his protege. And he was pushing her, and he'd be like, Lisa, do this one. And Lisa's like, okay. But you know, she has that sweet spirit, that sort of humble spirit. And I never really felt as though she really wanted that spotlight. Like whenever I was out on the road, I'd always be saying, I'm getting ready to do a solo thing, so don't think I'm gonna be here too long. Or that sort of thing, you know. And but it's a wonderful animal, you know, if you can handle it, because it's intense, this business, and if you don't know what you're doing, you can really get burned, like a lot of the things the singers were saying. Anybody else?
In the back.
Yes.
During the downtime for most backup singers?
I'm sorry, say that again?
During the downtime for most backup singers, what do you guys do for money for a living? Come on.
Well, you heard. Some of them have to clean houses, or you know, like right now, I'm not out with a tour or anything like that, but I do voiceover, and I do jingles and commercials and stuff like that, and now I'm getting ready to do a reality show, so I'm excited about that. And by the way, I got a reissue album called Streetcar Named Desire that's coming out the first week in August, and I appreciate the support.
Yeah. So that's like 20 years in the making, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I did it that long ago, and I guess the unique thing about that record, Streetcar Named Desire, was that I was working with a rock group, which at the time that I was out there, radio would not play you if you were a black artist and you were doing rock music or pop music. I mean, Michael Jackson had to fight to get the pop kid, you know what I'm saying? So when I did that, I mean, it was like a lot of people were like, well, it's good, but wow, it was like that jazz and rock, and you listen when you get it. And I hope you like it, and it's lots of love out to all of you for it. Who else? Yeah, now, if you're ready with your question, I will answer it, but those other people want to get in some too, so I'll ask. Let me just leave you, I'll just leave you to last, not that, you know, I'll just leave you to last. Yes, ma'am.
I just wondered how you felt about the film. Did it represent?
Oh, it made me almost cry, because I just could identify with every singer there who, when they first started their career, they were a certain way and revered in a certain way, and then they weren't anymore, or that phone wasn't ringing for people to say, hey, can you do the background parts, you know? And that can be something that can be very, bring your whole spirit down if you feel like you're still not wanted. Yes, ma'am. I'll get you.
Watching the film, it seems that the main artists are almost ghosts without their background singers.
Well,
They're so, yeah,
truthfully,
so talent, yes.
it's like this. You get with an act if they want to hire you, and then they sort of scrutinize you while you're working and say, okay, can this person be a lead singer? Or will they stay in my background forever? But like I said to you, most people that are successful want to keep their great singers. And Luther Vandross, he had the best musicians and singers. And so every time somebody got a little unhappy, he was like, how about a couple $1,000? People were like, I'm not going anywhere. So I mean, everybody stayed there very long. And he really did not, he didn't pay us to, he didn't retain us completely all the time to, to sing. When we weren't on tour, we didn't get paid, but every time that call came, we knew we were gonna get paid well. Yes, ma'am.
What's your reality show?
Well, I can't really talk about it yet, but it's something to do with, it's to do with a few things, because actually, I think I'm a chameleon, I'm not just one thing. The music, but also I'm into this health and fitness thing like crazy. If you think that you cannot be healthy and fit and really look great and feel great, you can, but you just really have to, you have to work hard. I mean, I work out in the gym, I work out hard in the gym. I mean, it's not easy, like, when you're 20, you can go in and you haven't got to do much. But, at a certain point, you really have to watch what you eat, and you really have to, you're laughing, but believe me, it's the truth. It's the truth. So, I can't tell it, but you'll know it's me when you see it, so. You know it's me when you're here. For all you people that really don't know about the business, it really is difficult. The promotion, you can record a record, and just because it was great, or everybody thinks it's great, doesn't mean it's going to be a success. Because really, right now, it's about marketing. If you have a strong marketing person and a person that's putting a little bit of money behind you, you might have a chance. But if you got a great record, you put it just up on YouTube. It may or may, if the YouTube crowd makes you a success, they can do that, like they did Justin Bieber and a lot of other artists, but it's no guarantee because you have a great record and you just put it out there on your own that it's going to be a success. You have to really work it. It's about marketing. Okay, you got this question ready, babe? Come on. What are 3 or 4 albums that I could not live without?
Young America.
Yeah, that'd be one of them, Young Americans. Well, you mean by other people? Okay. That's interesting. That's really interesting. I never really thought about it. I couldn't give it to you in 3 or 4. There's so many. I mean, I just love music so much, and there's so many different artists and different genres that I love. So I couldn't tell you 4, because that'd be like cheating those other people. I couldn't. I mean, it goes from Frank Sinatra to Sarah Vaughan to Peabo Bryson. It's just too extreme.
There's one back there.
Yes. Okay. Sorry, I'm gonna get you. There you go, sir.
It's a 2-part question. If somebody were to ask you what your favorite song is to sing, what would you name? And then the second part is, would you hit a few bars for me?
Why don't I get you last before the very last one? I'd have to think about that one for a minute. Let me think about it, and then I'll come right back to you. What's your question?
A couple of quick questions for you. What do you think about the singing shows now? Have you ever tried out for any of those for The Voice? And I saw the girl, the Jewish girl on The Voice, but she was cut.
Right, and wow, I don't know why she was, because she's so wonderful. What do I think about them? I think that there have been some artists that are on The Voice, that are on American Idol, and that are on all those things. They have been great, but more than not, there haven't been. I mean, when you think of all the singers that they get up there and all those shows, they might start out singing a certain way that's really cool when they decide to take them on to the next level. But by the very end, they homogenize everyone. And then something strange happens. If you're a black artist, sometimes you lose your black audience. If you've ever noticed, you look in there, I was looking at Snoop Dogg about 2 weeks ago, and there was a crowd, and I didn't see one black face in that crowd. And I was like, wait a minute, Snoop Dogg? But it's because we sometimes abandon our artists when they become successful. And you guys don't. You just keep on letting us make money. So it's all good. And yes, back there. People see what.
Some people say that the internet has collapsed a lot of industries like music. Musicians are finding it more difficult to be successful now than before the internet.
Oh, it's difficult. Very difficult. That's a really great question. More difficult than ever, because it's like they were saying at the end of the film, it's not what you know anymore, it's who you know. So if you know someone and they like you, they can make you a super success.
So we need to kind of wrap this part
Oh,
up.
all right, okay.
But do you want to get back to?
Oh, we'll get back to the question we wanted to
Maybe you want to see something? I don't know. Whatever.
I'm trying to think, is when people say that sort of thing to you, it's kind of, I go, what? By who? I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, I've been waiting for this moment all my life. Oh Lord, I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, oh Lord.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You guys are wonderful. Thank you so much.